I'm live. Yay. Hi, everybody. I'm Ella, and I'm Empathy Needed. This is my second live. I'm super excited about the readings that I'm gonna do today. Kind of changed it a little bit today. Changed the setup a little bit to just be more convenient because I watched yesterday's over and the reaching and oh my god, it was super ghetto. But I mean, we don't mind ghetto for a minute, right? My hair wasn't behaving today, so we had to put her away. Um, had a bit too much of an opinion. Anyway, so once again, I'm going to start with please check out at the psychic clinic where myself and my friend Shell are going to do a joint 10-hour live reading on Valentine's Day, which is in 9 days' time, where we're just going to do matchmaking and we're going to put people in the cheating bin and we're going to give advice and guidance using tarot and our psychic abilities just to uplift and kind of change and shift some of the energy that has been so heavy for everyone of late. So let's get into it. First things first, thank you for all the people who are brave enough to email and want a reading. But also, I'm honored to be able to do this. So yeah, is there something else I should probably say? Well, if I think about it, I'll say it. So let's go ahead and call on the angels and call on the guides of everyone that I'm going to do the reading for to give me the best answers to help them. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I really love the sound of tuning forks. They just really calm the energy down, just bring you back. Have to say that yesterday, after yesterday's live, I was knocked out. It really was just a lot of energy that ran through my body, and I was like, whoa, whew. Fair enough. Okay, so let's get into it. Today, first things first is Kimmy. Kimmy's question is: my husband found my emergency cash stash and is accusing me of being disloyal, even though he is the one that cheated. Okay. I am a huge fan of anyone having, especially someone, if you are not the main breadwinner, uh, have an emergency cash stash because you just don't know. And it seems as though at this particular point, so Kimmy went a little bit more into detail about what she's going through, and just for context, he her husband just became a bit intimidating. I think he was just mad, as in like, what are you doing? So I let's pull some cards on it and see what we have to say to her. So let me it's set up 15 minutes because, as we know, I can go into the woods a little bit. All right, so let's get started and then we'll pull the cards. Her questions are: am I in the wrong for having an emergency fund like he says? Can I trust him? And am I in danger from him, especially since I don't currently feel safe with him? Oof. Okay, girl. Let's see, Miss Kimmy. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. All right. So, first things first, I get that. All right. So, am I in the wrong for having an emergency fund? The answer for that, I feel, is no. I don't feel it's wrong for you to have an emergency fund. At the same time, emergency is very much an abstract overall word for every, like it covers so many things. So what was your emergency fund? Is it an emergency fund for things that you would need or your kids would need, or is it an emergency fund for that you would leave? So there is an aspect of, you need to talk to him, sit him down, and like when you're not feeling intimidated by him, you need to both sit down and you need to communicate what that emergency stash was for. So I don't feel like it was wrong for you to have an emergency stash. I do feel though that he might be worried about money. So there's a feeling of, I'm worried about getting these bills paid while you're hoarding this money. This is what I'm kind of feeling there. So and then we also have the hanged man again, which a lot of times for me is like, shift your perspective and turn it around, put yourself in somebody else's shoes and where they may be coming from. I'm definitely not condoning the intimidating you. However, it is a marriage. You guys are essentially, not in a bad way, stuck together until you decide not to be. And while you are together, then it is your responsibility to communicate with each other and see where the other one is coming from to get to a place of alignment again. I feel like he really loves you and he really regrets the whole situation of the infidelity. And I get the sense from him that he's like, I'm trying here, and you're not letting me kind of, you're not allowing the forgiveness to be acted out like that. I don't know what exactly that means, but that's what it feels like he's feeling, as in like he feels like he messed up, and he feels like he's taken accountability for it and tried so many things to try and make it up to you, but that this, you're not letting it go, you're not letting him. But at the same time, it is really difficult to, I don't believe in forgiving and forgetting. It happened, you can't forget it unless you're going to block it out. I believe in forgiving and moving forward. So if you might have to have a conversation that's come up. So I know that wasn't part of your question, but since it's come up, it's something that will need to be addressed. Talk to him about how you both can move forward, where you can feel comfortable in having taken him back, and he can feel comfortable in the fact that you're not continuing to hold a grudge if you're not. And also explain to him what your emergency stash was for and why you had it. Second question, can I trust him? Now, I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm going to interpret it as in, can I trust him? Is he still not out there disrespecting our marriage? So the question is, it feels like this man, all he does is go home, is go to work and worry about money at work, and then come home and worry about money at home. There is an aspect of, I don't know if you work outside of the home in like a traditionally, because stay at home parenting is work. That is a job on its own, and there is a lot of times not the financial incentive for it. So what I mean is, I wonder if you work outside of the home. I do feel like there is a discrepancy in the finances. I basically, whereas him, I see like a bigger pile of money than you. I don't know if it's a hobby that is paying, but it feels as though, if you guys, this makes sense as to why I was saying earlier about talk to him, get on the same page. There is a feeling of that there is something that you both can do where you can pool your resources, your skills, your love for each other. So one of the things that I've noticed about power couples and how people who are in love with each other or have a lot of love and respect for each other can work really well and really thrive and be a partnership or power couple is because there's an aspect of we're doing it together. There's an accountability to each other, and there's a mutual respect that has everyone showing up the way that they need to because they don't want to let the other person down, and also they want to build each other up. There is that potential for you guys, and if you were to get together, get aligned in what you need, I think that you guys could really thrive. There seems like there's an aspect, an opportunity to make some really good money together. And all right, so the third question is, am I in danger from him, especially since I don't feel safe with him? All right, so oof, okay. I don't feel like there's a physical danger. I do feel as though your husband may have some manipulative tendencies that a lot of times you get gaslit about things that you feel. So this is interesting because there seems to be some kind of contradictory energy in the fact that obviously he feels betrayed by the fact that you um, have an emergency fund, more for the fact that, okay, I'm going out and I'm doing all of this work and you're out here hoarding money where I'm not worrying about how we're going to pay our bills. There's also the aspect of if you guys worked together, you could make some really good money and thrive financially. But at the same time, I do feel like he is he has some manipulative tendencies that I guess keep you where you are. So I also do feel that there's an aspect of you, perhaps not consciously, but on a subconscious level, you know that you might be being manipulated. And maybe that's what has then the physical manifestation of the knowledge of being manipulated was to set up an emergency stash. That's the way that it's coming through to me anyway. But again, talk to him. Talk to him. It feels like there's also going to be an opportunity. I'm not. Oh, okay. So I was going to say there's an opportunity for a different direction where you will have a choice between one situation and another situation. So you have to update me because I'm invested and I need to know. So I wonder what that's going to be about, whether I need to know. So to reiterate then, your questions being that, am I in the wrong for having an emergency fund, like he says? No, I don't feel like you are in the wrong at all. But you do need to be clear about what the emergency fund is for, and you need to talk to him about what the emergency fund is for, and that it's not in any way trying to disrespect him or what have you. See what he says, and also maybe also look into how it is that you guys can join forces with your resources to get out of this stressful, always worrying about money situation that you're in individually. Because I mean, 1+1, when two people are working together, 1+1 doesn't equal 2. 1+1 could equal 5, depending on the amount of effort and energy that people are bringing in. So and then so your other question is, can I trust him? I feel like, okay, might need to pull a card for that one. Can you trust him? I feel like you can trust him if he is balanced. If you guys are in a balanced situation, you can trust him. Now, you know what? I'm going to be nosy here and find out what the reason was that he had cheated. Because it seems like that this is like a little swampy underbelly aspect that you both don't talk about, but it feels like it comes through in your relationship in other ways. Oh, okay. Well, this plot is thickening here. It feels as though it feels like his, not reasoning, but one of the reasons he may have looked elsewhere before was um boredom. It feels like he was bored with the marriage, and that I don't know where you live, but there was also an aspect of wanting to go somewhere else and start anew, but you weren't open to that. I'm not sure, but I would love to. And this is one of the things that myself and Shell are going to talk about in the live stream is, don't tell us all of the things going on in your life, but some acknowledgement, as in like yes, and then explain that situation, because sometimes I'm getting information now. None of this makes any sense to me. But it would be so great if you were able to say, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, this is what happened, or not. But yeah, you guys really, it feels like as an aspect of unfinished business between the both of you, that you didn't really deal with the cheating incident. You just moved forward. But obviously, a lot of times when you don't deal with stuff, it festers and resentment can come through. So you might need to deal with that before it becomes a bigger wound than you can deal with. And am I in danger from him? Just the manipulative side of it. I think that a lot of times when somebody is feeling insecure and they've got things going on, especially things that bring up a lot of stress, the way that money will, they can act out, especially if they're doing some things that will alter their personality, like drinking or drugs or something that will alter. And I feel like your husband may be battling with a little bit of that.